What's up, guys? I've injured my shoulder. So it's upper body today, and I'm going to show you guys how I train with an injury. Come on. First things first, when you have an injury, you really got to warm up the injured area. So we're going to get some big bad boy tiny weights, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to warm up my shoulder. Obviously, depending on where you're injured, warm up that area. Let's get some baby weights. Baby weights. Okay, first thing my physio told me to do is warm my shoulders up by holding these light weights and just holding it for about 60 seconds for 3 rounds. These are literally 1 kilogram weights, so by no means heavy, but after about 60 seconds it does kind of hurt. And the whole point of this is really just to wake the shoulder up because it needs an extra wake up now that it's a tad injured. Or are they 1 kilogram or are they 60 kilograms and I'm just a giant? You'll never know. It's burning. Injuries are very frustrating. They suck. And I won't lie to you. Initially when I get injured, I kind of just want to pack it all in. I want to say, screw it. I'm just not training it anymore. But we're not going to do that. We're going to work around it. Whatever injury you have, we can work around. I promise. I promise. So I basically did 4 weeks where I just didn't train my shoulder at all. Now the pain's gone, but I'm still wary that I need to build that strength around the muscle back up again. So what we're going to do is my semi-normal session, keeping an eye on how much stuff hurts, i.e. I don't really want it to hurt. I want it to feel a little bit weak, but I don't want it to hurt. So I'm going to use very small weights. I'm not going to push it, no ego, and I'm just going to lift and go through the motions with small, light weights. Okay? Hairs in my mouth. I can definitely feel that my right one is tighter than my left one. Look how cool my top is. Okay, so normally on a shoulder day or a push day, I do some shoulders. So we're getting our baby weights. I think they're like 3 kilograms. I'm just gonna make sure it doesn't hurt, all right? I'm gonna go slow, and we're gonna go higher reps. So I'm gonna go for like 15 reps. I can definitely tell that my left one is firmer, like sturdier, but that's cool. You know the ego is a thing when the other day I was worried someone would walk past me and think that I just can't lift anything. And I was like, Grizz, why do you even care that people think you can't lift? So I checked myself before I wrecked myself. Doesn't matter what weight you're lifting as long as it's hard for you. Also, it doesn't matter what you're doing anyway. You just focus on you. It kind of hurts. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do 3 rounds, 15 reps, keep it nice and light. I'm not gonna go up in weight anymore. Just gonna feel that out. Then tomorrow I'm gonna see, does it hurt? Let's hope not, because it didn't hurt as I was doing it. And we're just gonna run through that. Next up, we're doing some triceps. Now, although it's not directly shoulder, everything incorporates shoulder of some form. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Start with a very light weight, just feel how it goes. If I notice that my shoulder feels super stable, then I can up the weight. Let's start light first. This is my favorite bar for skull crushers. So we're gonna put it overhead, and we're just gonna go down. So that felt okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of weight, nothing crazy. I'm literally gonna add like 2.5 on the side. And we're gonna do that for 2 more rounds. I think the most disheartening thing about having injuries is feeling like you've been making progress or like you've been really killing it in the gym and then suddenly feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose all this progress. I'm suddenly lifting like 1/10 of what I was lifting, but it's okay. It took you a while to build it. It's gonna take you a while to lose it. Better to safely reintroduce yourself into the movement and then we can go back into smashing it. Right, let's try this. Again, if it feels too heavy, I'm immediately gonna stop, okay? There's no ego in injury. There's no ego in injury, remember that. I feel like that was fine, but I'm going to keep the reps kind of low just to feel it out a little bit more. I don't want to push it too confidently because tomorrow I know I might regret it. So better I take it easy today, then the next session I'm like, last time 8 reps was fine, this time I know I can do 12 and we keep building. It's like progressive overload but on top of an injury instead. Third exercise of today's injured shoulder workaround session. I love machines generally, especially for when you're injured, because when you have dumbbells, there's a chance they can move around. The machine really stabilizes you. But I still also do stand by. You can build an insane physique just by using machines. you don't have to use free weights. I know there's a lot of discussion around that on social media. I stand by machines, stabilization, it's safe, easy to go to failure, easy to progressively overload, big fan. Now, this machine already itself has weight or is a weight, so I'm not gonna add anything on top of this. Like I said, we're staying nice and light, and then next week we can go up in weight if we notice that the shoulder has no issues. So this doesn't hurt, but it also doesn't feel easy, which is probably the right place for me to be at in terms of building back my strength. 10, 11, and 12. Nice. So you may have noticed I haven't been doing too much chest, and that is because I've already figured out that this movement, like the bench press movement, hurts a little more than the other movements I'm doing. So I'm taking a bit of a pause on those kind of chest exercises, but we are going to do this one and do some pec flies, because I've noticed that if I stay light, I can do this movement without too much pain. So we're just going to do absolutely no weight test first. Seems okay. I'm only going to add a tiny bit. This is a loud machine. Again, I'm staying pretty high volume with this exercise, so I'm going for around 15 reps because the weight is light, but I do also want to push myself a little bit. Nice, I'm happy with that. No pain. Dave.
Hi.
Wait, what was my question?
I don't know.
I just forgot it. No, wait, I remembered it. It was, okay.
Are
Dave,
people scared?
yes.
Are people scared to come in a gym like this?
Are people scared to come in a gym like this?
Yes, they are. And even people that are experienced trainers or people that are using gyms go, oh, I don't want to go Genesis, it's like for the really big guys. When you actually come in here and you look around, there is some big guys, but there's not that many big guys. There's a lot of like good-looking girls, like this one.
I thought I'd categorize as one of the big guys.
And or she could be a big guy. You never know these days. And but you find in gyms like this, the atmosphere is very good.
I agree.
And you get a lot of encouragement. You don't get a lot of guys. You go into like some of the sort of chain gyms, you get a lot of guys perving, and they're just in it to sort of pull girls or just, and they just want to talk to you, they want to give you false advice. I mean, you come in the gym, you know what you're doing, but they'll still come over and try and tell you what to do. Yeah. They're less experienced than you. Mm-hmm. They don't lift as well as you do. Mm-hmm. But when you come in a place like this, people are more interested in themselves and what they're doing, so they focus on their own training. Obviously, if you want advice or you want help, they're quite willing to give it. I'm quite happy to go around with anyone that comes in here, show them how the machines work, show them different exercises. You know, I'm not looking to do PT with them, I'm just looking to make sure that they're training properly. Yeah. And I'll quite often go around and correct people on exercises and that sort of thing. So this sort of gym, once you get in here and realise that you're not going to get eaten, unless I'm hungry, you're not going to get eaten, and it's actually, people in here are in here for themselves and they're friendly towards other people. There's very little ego and there isn't ever really a bad atmosphere. Whereas you go into a lot of commercial gyms and they're very cliquey.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think this gym is a lot less scary than the commercial gyms I've been to, because everyone here is here to train. They've probably been training for a long time. They're actually here and they're very focused. Whereas in a commercial gym, it's a massive mix of people, and I think there's a difference between someone who takes it super seriously, because they will help you, and they also remember being a beginner, so they value you a lot.
I mean, beginners are very important. I mean, a lot of gyms won't accept kids unless they're 18. I mean, I'm quite happy to accept kids that are a lot younger, as long as they're sensible and they listen and they do what they're shown, or they're with someone older. And you get younger kids like 14, 15 training here, and they're sensible. They like the fact they're allowed into a decent gym. They respect that fact. They train well. They learn a lot. I mean, I started lifting when I was 13.
Oh, wow.
And people say, you know, it puts a lot of stress on your body at this young age. Gymnasts start doing gymnastics at 3, 4, 5 years old, and they put a tremendous amount of stress on their body. All by training early, you tend to get your body to lay down more high-line cartilage in the joints, so it makes your joints stronger. But you also develop your body faster than if you were just doing nothing. Yeah. And as long as you're sensible and you lift correctly and you're not overly twisting and straining in areas that you shouldn't train, it's gonna make no difference to your growth, and it's gonna make you a stronger person, and it's gonna give you a good grounding for any other sports that you want to do in later in life. But you also find that people can carry this training through their whole life, and you also find people that have done other sports like boxing, gymnastics, rugby, football. Quite often they come into a gym like this when their careers in those sports are finished, and find a new passion because it gives you a new goal. Not necessarily you might not want to compete, but you're always battling against yourself to lift a little bit more weight, do an extra rep with a certain weight. So you've always got a goal. And it's you can continue, you can work around injuries, and you can continue to train for years and years.
I agree with that so much. Like, I think I don't even compete because I don't want to, but I'm competing against myself every single day. And the thing about this gym is people are either competing or they're competing against themselves. And you can see it because they're hungry and they're focused. Like, when they're hitting their sets, I have a lot of respect for that because you can see they're fully in it. And when I first came to this gym, I was a little bit scared. I brought my friend with me. And now she's not even here and I come by myself.
Yeah, you do. You come here, you train, you're part of the gym. And it's great. It's great to see. It's great to see.
It's a community, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is, and it's quite refreshing to see someone like yourself. You're a good-looking girl. You train well, and you just get on with stuff. You don't
try my best.
Yeah, you just get on with it. It's not okay. You take loads of photographs and loads of stuff like that.
He's always like, "Can you train without the tripod?"
But that's part of your business.
Yeah.
You're not just doing it.
But share the love with you guys. I want you guys to get into the gym and find out how great it is, just as I did once upon a time.
So try it. Come and try it.
Agreed. It's the best time of day, the post-workout meal. I swear food genuinely tastes better after a training session, and I stand by that. But before we call it a day, I just wanted to say, if you're feeling injured right now, please don't get discouraged. Do not give up entirely. You will get better, the injury will go away, and everything will go back to normal. In the interim, see a doctor, see a physio, create an action plan to get that injury back into recovery, no matter how long it takes. Time's gonna pass anyway, so we might as well work on the recovery side of things. And then, don't give up in the gym entirely, just work around it, Like, for a long time, for I think it was a month when I just couldn't train my shoulder, I just really focused on legs and cardio, So look at what you can do. It is a blessing you can still do that. Maybe go for a run. Do some stuff that you never normally do if you've got an injury that's bothering you. If your leg hurts, start focusing on upper body, start focusing on core, maybe some yoga, focus on your mobility. There's always ways that you can continue moving. You will get better. Just stick to the plan, create an action plan, go into recovery mode. Obviously look after yourself, but time's gonna pass anyway, so you might as well just keep going in whatever way you can keep going. It's gonna be fine, I promise. Stay at it, go to the gym, work out at home, do your thing. It's gonna be fine.